What's your name? Where were you born and how old are you?
My name is Donna Rivera. I was born in Brooklyn and I'm 41.
What was your home life like?
My home life was very caring, very loving environment, very nurturing and very uplifting.
What were your parents like? Your relationship with them and where did they grow up?
My parents grew up in Ponce, Puerto Rico. My parents, that's a little complicated. My mom ran away from her house when she was young. So my dad, of course, was there to help her. They got together, lived together and everything. Of course, had me. But their relationship was not really that close, at least for me in my eyes. They actually split up when I was 6 years old. It became a little possessive and toxic. So I didn't really have my dad in my life.
At all? Or just when you were growing up?
Growing up, no, I didn't have him in my life. My father got remarried and she always had like an issue with him coming around to see us, and I would cry all the time. He would say he would come and he would just...
So it was basically you and your mother?
Me, my mother, and my other 5 siblings. Well, at that time was another sibling.
Okay. So let's say in your house, was economics ever a conversation? Did your mother teach you about finances or budgeting your money?
My mom she's very, very extremely well at budgeting. It was always a topic. But also, my mom's always been the type, you live once, and if you work hard for it, why not just spend it the way you want to spend it?
Work hard, play hard.
Yes.
Okay. Did your mother teach you a strong work ethic? And, like, tell you the value of $1 and, when you leave your house, you got to budget for groceries, let's say. Did she teach you how to handle, let's say, your allowance money or whatever?
She did, but my mom didn't have much growing up. So as long as we worked for it, you know what, if you want to get it. As long as you make sure the bills were paid, you had clothes on your back, all the necessities was taken care of, the rest is just...
So she told you early, make sure you have your food money, your
Yes.
clothes money before you go park.
Yes.
Before you go get the ice cream, make sure you have the essentials.
Yes.
Okay. You said you have 5 siblings?
Yeah, so I'm the oldest.
Okay. So
then
break it down.
Then I have my brother, he's 4 years younger than me. Okay. Then I have another brother.
What's your relationship with your other brother, the first brother?
The first brother, we're extremely, extremely close.
Okay.
We're from the same dad. So she has 6. So the first 2, which is me and my brother, we extremely, extremely close.
Okay.
Honestly,
what's his name?
Kevin.
Okay.
He's been there for me in ways that I could never repay. I've been through a lot in life. He's been there for my kids as well. So.
Okay. You said you have other siblings?
Yeah, I have 2 more brothers and 2 more sisters.
What's your relationship with them?
I'm a lot closer to the 2 youngest. The 2 middle, I would like for it to be close, but sometimes there's tension, or we don't click all the time.
Yeah, not everybody's gonna click. I say this all the time. Just because you're born into the same family, you might love them. I'm not saying you don't love your family or don't like them, but there's a lot of situations where you love your family, but you don't necessarily click or like that person.
Absolutely. Because,
you grew up differently. You could be in the same household, but see things totally different.
Yeah, we used to be really, really close, but as everybody started getting older, everybody had their own personality, their own ways of looking at life.
Yeah.
That's when, we weren't as close. We became not too
close. That's you with your other 2 brothers and the sisters as well?
With the 2 middle ones. So it's one of my brothers and one of my sisters.
Okay. How's the relationship with them now? Is it the same?
Basically the same. Close with my oldest brother, and then my 2 the youngest brother and the youngest sister I'm really close with.
And you guys all grew up in the same house together?
Same house.
Okay, wow, that must have been crazy. What was it like growing up in your neighborhood? What part of Brooklyn?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn. I'm
Okay.
originally from the Bronx. I was raised in the Bronx, in Walton Avenue.
Okay. So what was it like growing up in your neighborhood?
It was okay. At the moment, my mom was going through something with my stepdad. So I was outside a lot. I was a tomboy. So it just consisted of me playing basketball and
So basketball was your sport?
yes.
Play with the guys? Were you any good?
Actually, yes.
Yeah?
I shot nothing but threes.
Just a bust ass?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What else?
But it was okay. At that time, it was this whole nietas and Latin Kings going on, and
How did that affect you?
it didn't affect me.
You-
I'm a loner.
You're civilian?
I'm just
You didn't get involved in any
No.
drama?
no.
Okay.
I always kept to myself.
No boyfriends that were caught up in that life, or
I did date. My first boyfriend was a Latin King.
okay.
How
How was that relationship as how old were you around the time? Your teenager?
I was 14.
14 years old, dealing with upcoming gangster
He was
banger.
17.
Okay, so what's that relationship like? I'm sure it didn't last very long.
Actually, it lasted 2 years.
Okay, that's pretty long for 14.
I actually still keep in contact with him. He's
Okay.
married now, but it's puppy love.
Puppy
I thought we were gonna be together forever.
Mhm.
He was the love of my life.
At
we-
14.
We were really close. We did everything together. Went to the same high school. He lived up the block from me on Walton. So it was basketball all the time together, football.
Loving basketball?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. That's funny. So what were the other kids like in your neighborhood? When you step outside, what was your, let's say, Saturday morning, you went outside, how does that work for you?
Well, I never got along with the females.
Okay. Because you was a tomboy.
That, and surprisingly, I had a lot of the attention of the guys.
Okay.
Even their boyfriends. So me and the females never got along.
Okay.
There were arguments, but I wasn't much of a fighter at that time or anything like that. No confrontations, no nothing. I mind my business. The only thing is everybody knew not to talk to me.
Not to talk to you?
Not to talk to me.
Because?
I don't know.
Antisocial?
Yes, extremely.
Intentional, or just that's just your character?
I wouldn't say it's my character because I'm no longer like that, but it was my character then.
At the time?
Yeah.
You think the environment played a part, or that was your home environment played a part as to why you were so quiet, or that's just...
Maybe I would say my home environment as well as my environment outside played a lot.
Okay, describe real quick a typical Monday morning in your neighborhood. You come outside, guess going to school.
I just get up, get ready for school, walk to school, had headphones on, didn't say much to nobody, walked to school, only spoke to my circle was really, really small. Of course, I used to meet up with my boyfriend, going to school. He used to drop me off because at that time I was still in junior high school.
Okay.
Go to school, do what I had to do. He used to pick me up, take me home, do what I had to do, come back out and just chill with him.
Okay. What was school like for you? Grammar school, high school, college, if you went to college? So
junior high school for me was not that great. I used to get bullied a lot.
That's a running theme when I'm speaking. A lot of people seem to have gotten bullied. Even the people that when I talk to them, they don't seem like they have that or had that type of background because they seem so confident.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out that a lot of people get bullied in some way or another.
I was bullied.
What was the main bullying that they did to you?
Just pushed me around, knocked my books over.
Girls or guys?
Girls.
Oh.
I never had problems with the guys.
So now I see why you didn't talk to them.
It was always the girls. Like I had they used to call me Sweets in high school.
Mm.
And I remember this one time I wrote Sweets on the table. And apparently it was somebody else's name. And all I see is this big black girl just come and just hit my table.
I'm Sweets.
And I'm looking at her and she was just mouthing off to me and everything. And I'm just sitting there like this. So one of the girls that I knew was like, yo, you're not going to get up? And I'm just ignoring everybody, and she's just pushing me.
But what is she saying at the time? Like, this is my name, you can't be happy. What's the argument? What's her reasoning?
So, it's her name.
Uh-huh.
Who the hell am I to be tagging up her name?
Okay, this is you're getting your name up, and okay, this is some tagging type.
That's all it was.
Okay.
A friend of mine had went and at that time they called the buff my name, and she thought it was me, but he was doing it to my name. It wasn't her name, and that became an issue. So she thought I did that to hers, and then I retagged it as in I was taking her name. So like it didn't belong to her.
So this is some real graffiti wars?
Something like that.
That's kind of dope, though. I don't care. I mean, if I was to hear a bullying story, I like to hear that bully story because you was actually, I'm a hip-hop head. So to me, you're participating. You're just trying to get your name up. Like, yo, I'm Sweets. No, I'm Sweets.
Yeah, that's all it was. Besides that, it was more like who you think you are or you think you hot shit. And mainly like that. My mom, like, how can I say? She was a single parent. But a single parent to the point that whatever new came out, any name brand that came out, we had it. Okay. So we stood fresh. So my mom always taught us as long as all she asked was school. You get good grades or whatever.
So you were a good student?
Yeah, in the beginning.
In the beginning?
In the beginning.
Until the boys came around, the drama?
Yeah.
So that was junior high school. You say you're getting bullied. Junior high school. You're going into high school now.
Going into high school was a lot different.
Okay. Going
into high school, I think me being bullied so much, I became to realize the power I had in myself, if I'm going to put it like that. I maybe got into 2 confrontations. One of them, I was pregnant at the time.
In high school?
In high school. I came out pregnant at 17. Okay. So girls really didn't bother.
So how did you navigate? You saying you got bullied, you were kind of curled up, scared when the girl was pushing on you. Going to high school, you said, I guess it toughened you up. How did you not deal with the same situation if somebody approached you that way in high school? What did you learn?
To speak for myself, to stand up for myself. That's something I never did in junior high school.
And when you stood up for yourself, what was the reaction? What did you see?
I got respect.
Okay.
Basically, I got respect. I was always timid and I was antisocial, but very to myself, very shy, very timid, scared all the time. You know, a lot of people go through life and let words intimidate them, and I was one of those. So
when you finally stood up, what did it do for your confidence moving forward?
My confidence went up.
Okay.
It's kind of funny, but my confidence did go up.
Yeah, you can only assume you spend, like you said, not saying nothing. Finally, you get the strength to say something, and you see that it has a reaction.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? This might be my superpower type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
Okay, that's cool.